Hello, this is Lorena, and I'm back with another Duel's video. And this time, this is Duel's instead of a different game, and I just somehow called a game that's not. Anyway, Reggie, I just got online. I just logged on to Duel's, and you are already appearing. Okay, well, I'm going to the area of your appearance, and I'm going to kick your ass. Okay, that's a bit early in the video. Dear God. Anyway, I have to do some rank duels because there's like this rank duel thing. And I need to do 6 more, and of course I need to do the daily 3 that I really haven't been doing. I actually considered I considered uploading the other videos I've made for this event, but that doesn't sound like a good idea to me. The only reason I've considered it is because of the kind of thing I'm supposed to be building myself as. I'm trying to build myself up as a YouTuber that's authentic, someone that does occasionally make mistakes, someone that grows, improves, learns. But ultimately, I'm still a person. I still have my flaws, and I still have days where I say things I probably shouldn't have said. I'm trying to build an image of being authentic entirely and completely, at least to the degree that it's appropriate. And I don't really like the videos I made earlier in this event. I think some of those videos were a bit, I don't think they were good. But then I considered, why would I want to upload those? But it really doesn't help me learn anything if my first response to any kind of criticism is to panic. And it also doesn't help me if my first response to uncomfortable material is not post it. If something is uncomfortable, then sure, it's uncomfortable, but that doesn't mean the topic shouldn't still be discussed. There are millions of topics that are uncomfortable, but we should still be talking about them. Not everything has to be positive, and not everything has to be a good topic. It doesn't all have to be comfortable. When I think about how I felt this past few, when I talk about how I felt lately, it's been a lot to deal with, but I really don't need everything to be positive, not all the time. And I'm not really the kind of YouTuber that can build an image around optimism. I can be as optimistic as realistically possible, but I can't make myself into someone I'm not. And that's the main thing that I'm trying to build. I'm trying to build myself as someone that is willing to express herself, even her vulnerable self. Simply, I'm trying to build myself up as someone that is willing to be herself, even in the face of great criticism. I think that's an important skill to have developed. And especially as a writer, I think it's important for me to know how to handle difficult situations. And someone disagreeing with me or calling me out for something I did wrong, that was legitimately wrong, it shouldn't be cause for me to panic. But I do at times panic at the thought of having to reconsider that I said something that shouldn't have been said, because I obviously don't want to say things that offend others. I obviously don't want to say things that are harmful or hurtful or anything. But sometimes people say that kind of stuff, and to be fully authentic anyway, I can't grow if I'm holding myself back. And if I'm holding myself back, that definitely means that there's a problem I have to deal with. And I don't really want to, I still don't really want to make, I don't really find myself to be comfortable with certain content, because it may be depressing or uncomfortable for others. But then I think about the authentic message that I'm trying to send, and the overall thing that I want to be known for. And it's like, it's kind of difficult if you aren't actually doing that, isn't it? But at the same time, I still think about it. Like, is it still appropriate for YouTube though? Like, sure, it's authentic, but is it still appropriate for a public platform? And there is that, but I think a lot of the topics that make me not want to post those videos, a lot of these topics that involve things I don't want to discuss, are actually about topics that are discussed on YouTube. So it's not necessarily inappropriate if I know that there are people on this platform discussing that content. And I think I'm mainly uncomfortable posting that kind of stuff because I don't want to misrepresent myself, and I don't want to be someone that is said to be toxic. I don't want to be toxic. And I don't want to be overly negative either. I try to be accepting of others, as accepting as I can be anyway. Obviously, there are people that shouldn't really be, they shouldn't be given a pass, so there are people we can accept without having to put up with our shit. And that's basically what I've done for a long time, is I haven't put up with a lot of bullshit. But on the other hand, I also that is not a good portfolio. The best portfolio? Are you shitting me? No. I had to go back and look at that. The best portfolio? That's bullshit, Reggie. That is not the best portfolio. That is an awful portfolio. And I'm going to keep saying that no matter how many times I lose against you. Anyway, back to what I was saying. If I don't express myself as I fully am, then obviously I never know where I need to grow. And I also never know the ways that I'm doing things incorrectly. I never actually face what is wrong with my personality. I don't face all of that shit I don't want to face, which is the basis of shadow work. And I'm scared to do shadow work. That's basically what this is. But if I want to build a channel that is built around authenticity, then the only way I can be properly authentic is definitely by being authentic. I can't hide shit. And obviously, if someone calls me out for something I've done, I should own it. I should correct my wrongs. I should actually hold myself accountable for anything that I may have done that harmed another person. Now, obviously, I cannot look at every comment. And, I mean, right now I can look at every comment, but, I mean, in the future I can't look at every comment. I mean, I expect that some of them won't be that positive. Let's just say that. But outside of certain things, we really have to consider. We really have to consider. Can I be properly authentic if I don't allow myself to be shown in a negative light? Like, I think a lot of people forget that YouTubers are people too. And a large part of what I want to do is remind people of that. That YouTubers are also people and we have feelings. But that doesn't mean that we aren't still accountable for what we've produced. And I don't necessarily want to post every video I make, but I do think that I've been approaching this from a wrong angle. Like, I've been doing things that I don't think fit with the message I want to make with my channel. And obviously, my channel isn't about being all negative either. I had to be positive at times, or that's going to cause some significant health issues that I'm already aware of. And I think that I'm overly critical of you, but you know what they say when someone bothers you and you end up hating on them over and over. That probably means they represent something in you, correct? That's what people say. Now, I would like to say that you and I have nothing in common, but I think we do. I'm just not quite sure what just yet. Obviously, I want people to enjoy my content. I want people to be entertained by my content. But aside from that, what else do you and I have in common? I do not know. I don't know. I don't really have the mindset of wanting people to be positive and smile all the time. And I definitely don't think you can fix anything with just smiles alone. But smiles can definitely help overall. Just don't overdo it. Don't overdo it. Smiling too much can be physically uncomfortable. Like, there was this time when I couldn't stop smiling, and that was physically hurting me. Yeah, that was physically hurting me. Like, I felt like for a moment I understood someone that I should never understand ever. But also, I'm not going to say that person's name or that person's fiction. I'm not stating that person's source because I don't even know what I'm talking about. I mean, I'm not sure if I know what I'm talking about, to be more accurate. Because I don't consume that form of media often, so do I remember anything right? Well, I don't know, which is why I'm not saying that person's name. I am not identifying their gender, I am not identifying their source, I am not identifying anything. But, I mean, I guess there are probably some people that have some idea of what might be what I was thinking of when I couldn't stop smiling. Maybe. But that's only if I have an accurate memory. No, I'm dealing with revenge. I am dealing with revenge. I am here for revenge. Yes, that is definitely why I am doing raging. That's it. There is no other reason except revenge. Well, at this point, I guess that's more interesting than my other reasons for doing, which is boredom. I can't think of anything better to post. I need content. So this is what I'm going to use as content. Yeah, I'm sure there are better reasons I could have for doing. But yeah. In terms of video content, I think it's more interesting when I'm not actually doing for revenge. But those videos can be funny too, to an extent, obviously. Okay. am going to show you a good time. And you don't get to know what that means. Dude, stop, stop. You're cursing everything around you. You're making everything into cursed material. Do you not feel bad for doing that? Okay, give me a second. Okay. I can't really do anything except for this. Okay, well, I'm not using my pendulum zones. And that's probably one problem I have, is I don't use the pendulum zones. This isn't a very entertaining duel, dude. This is a bad... Dude, it's only entertaining if it goes both ways. If it goes both ways, that's a good duel, but if it's too one-sided, then it's not interesting anymore. Oh my god. No. Stop this. I must defeat you at all costs. At all costs. I must defeat you. Is there anything I can activate now? Will increase by... That doesn't really help me much. But for the sake of entertainment, I think it's a good idea to make certain decisions. Okay. For the sake of entertainment, let's go. I've already lost, but that's the worst part about this. I entered my battle phase not realizing that I would be... I'm doing it. I've already lost. I accept defeat, but I will not go down without entertainment. Alright, take me out. I wonder what would help me win against them. Obviously, it might help if I'm actually using Yuya's deck, but I suck at using Yuya's deck. I guess the solution is learn to use Yuya's deck. I mean, obviously that's the solution, right? And that's what you would imagine. That's what you would imagine. Okay, well, I don't like that I lost. But, honestly, I could have done much worse. I think that I should... I don't know what I should do. Maybe I should use... Maybe I should use deck. Maybe I should use this deck. I don't feel like I'm good at using it, though. I don't feel like I'm good at using it. Okay, well, unfortunately, I think that there are some things that... I think I'll go around using his deck. You know, the current deck I have built for him. I don't feel like I'm good at using his cards. And since I don't feel like I'm good at using his cards, I just don't. Okay, I think I know the name of this card. Excuse me, I can search. Okay, I save. Yes, I changed my active deck. And I don't really know if this is going to be good enough, but I'm hoping it'll help. In any case, back to what I was talking about. I'm probably not approaching this from the right perspective. Like, I know that I may be a bit harsh with Yuya at times, but I mean, that's just because it's difficult for me to understand, like, why. I don't really understand why there would be people so. I don't know, there are some things about him that I just don't understand. Why would people like him so much? I don't understand that. And maybe that's jealousy or something. I don't know. But I'm definitely confused for some reason out there. It's like I just don't really understand what draws anyone in the series to him. But it's not just people in the series. There are actual fans of him, and I'm not sure why. But there shouldn't be a reason for me to ask that, right? I mean, who doesn't love a protagonist that just wants to make you smile and have fun? Who doesn't love someone that just wants to entertain people and have a good time in general? Who would have an issue with someone liking a protagonist like that? Well, yes, those are indeed good qualities that Yuya possesses. And I would say to an extent I have those same qualities in myself. But I don't really like that the writers portray him in a way that just sends his message in a way that's too extreme. He spreads it in a way that doesn't really make a lot of sense. I do agree that what he's trying to do is good, but I don't think it's handled in the way the series should have handled it. And I'm sure there are a lot of reasons why Arc 5 didn't do as well as I was hoping and maybe other fans. But this just goes along with me believing that even Yuya deserved better. Like, I criticized the character we got, but as a whole, I understand the kind of person that Yuya generally is. And when I talk about what I see in his character, that doesn't necessarily mean that is who he is. So I say he has the makings of a cult leader. That doesn't mean he is a cult leader. That doesn't mean he is actually leading a cult. But based on the way he is portrayed, that argument can indeed be made. And there is evidence to suggest that maybe he's got some of that going on. But that's also just bad writing. It's not even something that's intentional. It's just bad writing, that's all it is. It's because the writing was rushed, and there wasn't much development between characters. Characters didn't have enough time to properly grow and actually learn and accept Yuya's message. They didn't have enough time to really truly learn how to believe that what Yuya was doing was indeed the right thing. They didn't have enough time to truly adapt and learn to follow what he was about. And the show didn't do a good job of portraying him as actually entertaining. But these are issues with Yuya that didn't have to be issues with Yuya. Yuya's issues are not just Yuya's issues. They are a consequence of just bad writing as a whole. And when you have bad writing as a whole, then you do end up criticizing characters. But that isn't to say that character is bad for having certain qualities. If you know that there are a lot of characters in the series that weren't generally written well at all, as was the case in Arc 5. Most of the cast weren't really treated the way they should have been. They weren't well developed. And that should have Arc 5 should have been treated with much better respect. It should have been given more. It offered so much. It had so much potential. And Yuya could have been so much better. But I don't see Yuya as a bad person. And when I criticize him, it's not necessarily because he deserves to be criticized. It's because I just disagree with the product. And the person that Yuya is, I don't feel that who Yuya is was accurately portrayed to the fullest. I believe that he was held back to some degree. And he suffered as a result of that. Yeah, he suffered as a result of that. He also suffered from some of the flaws that a lot of other characters had. Like, Yuya could have learned to understand that smiles cannot fix everything, but they can indeed help when times are tough. They just aren't enough to fix every problem out there. And when I hear some of Yuya's lines in the series, especially the sub, which is the only version of Arc 5 I've watched, the sub version just makes him sound like someone that is pushing his beliefs down other people's throats. And somehow the characters are fine with that because the writers aren't giving the characters a chance to fully develop. It's fine for characters to develop and change and follow what Yuya thinks is right. It's fine for them to support Yuya in what he's trying to do. Because why wouldn't you? But again, the writers didn't really do a good job of portraying Yuya the way he should have been portrayed. From what I see in his character, he's not exactly the type to push something down someone's throats just because he wants to do that. He doesn't seem like the type of person that would be wanting to do that. He just doesn't want people to suffer. I mean, that's a good thing, right? You don't want people suffering. But at the same time, as portrayed, that's taken to an extreme that's sort of cult level in the show. And I'm not the only person that thinks this. There are entire memes about the cultist smiles and all that. So I think the show did indeed portray that. And my idea of Yuya seemingly leading a cult, that kind of joke didn't come from myself. I actually realized that when someone else made that comparison. I was like, oh, I didn't make this up. I got this from somewhere. And I probably got it from Twitter. I mean, not Twitter, Tumblr. I probably got it from Tumblr back in the day. But Tumblr is pretty toxic, and it can be pretty cultish at times as well. It can seem very much like the kind of group that, it can seem like an echo chamber. Pretty similar to how Reddit can seem like an echo chamber. But only certain subreddits are an echo chamber. There are some that are well moderated, but there aren't a lot of them. I can say that a lot of major subreddits are probably not good subreddits. There are very few exceptions, but you definitely need a thick skin if you're on Reddit. Honestly, to be a successful YouTuber, you also need a thick skin. But I don't really seem to be reflecting that well if I'm so afraid to upload potential content that may challenge me to have to grow from anything said there. Like, if someone says that something I said was offensive, then I shouldn't say it. But I also have some issues with how I've approached my opinion of Yuya in past videos, especially during this event. And especially with the fact that my mood kind of went downhill right as the event started. It was a coincidence, really. And I think I blamed the event too much for how I was feeling, which is a major problem. Like, I'm not trying to blame anyone or anything for being the cause of my problems, but I do think that there's some projecting going on here. And I'm not sure how I'm projecting just yet, because when I'm looking at Yuya, I see some of his negatives as they're probably actually there, but then I really think about how he could have just been the product of bad writing. And I think about his positive qualities and all that, and I'm like, I don't really see how this is projection, because I don't see myself in, I just don't see myself as being anything like Yuya. Like, maybe, like, if I'm criticizing him, that probably means the criticism is a negative form of projection. Whereas if I was praising him all the time, that might be rose-colored glasses, and me just seeing positive qualities and nothing else. But I'm trying to understand Yuya as a character, and not just blindly insult him. And I think that for some of these videos, I pretty much have done that. Just blindly insulting him, not wanting to, but pretty much doing that, even though that's not what I'm trying to do. And I didn't want to upload videos that came across to me as hating on Yuya for reasons that he shouldn't be hated on. I mean, again, I don't think Yuya should be hated on just for how he was portrayed, but that's how I act like he should be treated. I don't know, there's just something about the way I see Yuya that isn't entirely right. And that's definitely an issue with me, personally. I don't think it's a fault in Yuya, but I'm not sure. I don't really shove beliefs down anyone's throats, so I don't really see that, but I don't really see his other negatives in my personality either. And the negatives that I do see, well, a lot of people Yuya's age have those issues. A lot of them do. And I could make a criticism of Yuya's character, but I don't know if those criticisms are based on his age or just because that's who he is. And I mean, seriously, when I think about Yuya and the characters in this series, I think about a bunch of people that are just trying to have a good time. And yeah, that's basically it. They're just trying to have a good time. They aren't trying to do much else. They just want to have a good time. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I do think I've fallen into some old behavior patterns. Basically, I've sort of slipped a bit into some pessimistic tendencies, which I think is evident when I criticize Yuya. And I really shouldn't criticize him so much. I don't think he deserves that. He's only, 14, 15? I don't remember his age. But he's so young, he really doesn't deserve it. And even with all the memes about his smiling cult or whatever, he really probably isn't a cult leader. It's probably just how the show is written. And when you see a friend that's upset, do you really want them to be upset? I mean, realistically, you don't, do you? You encourage them to you encourage them to see things in a better light. Well, when I see the characters in Arc 5, I see them doing that, but I feel like it's taken to a bit of a cult level, where yes, there's trying to make someone feel better, and then you can't experience a negative emotion at all. And that's the main issue I have with the series as a whole. Is the series just isn't well written. This is a decade. I see. I won that. That person was in... Wow. I won against a legend deck. I did not expect to do that. Anyway, I mean, you're allowed to be upset, but obviously, the people around you wouldn't want that. So, it's normal to encourage someone and help them try to feel a bit better about themselves and overall just not feel as bad as they are. But there are also times when it's appropriate to take a step back and feel those negative feelings. Not just... I mean, obviously you don't want to dwell on them to the point where it's not healthy. You obviously do not want to do that. But I do get into the... Dude, how does he have 2 of these? How does he have 2 of these when you can... What? Dude, there is something I don't understand. I guess there's, give me a second. Because there's something I don't quite understand here. That deck didn't make a lot of sense. I mean, sure, I won against it, but you have 2 semi-limited cards in your deck? What happens when I try to put 2 semi-limited cards in my deck? It says that I can't do that. Let me look at a different deck. One that might be a... Okay, here. I'll look at this here. Okay, okay, so Amazoness Swordswoman and Enemy Controller are the quickest examples off the top of my head. By the way, that is not how you spell the card. Okay, I guess... Anyway. As I was saying, it doesn't make a lot of sense for, it doesn't make a lot of sense for your deck to have... I could have sworn, though, that you cannot have... I'm confused. That's what's going on here. I'm confused. Oh, wait a minute. Only 2 copies of limited. Okay, well, what if a card is limited? I'm confused. Dude, that card was semi-limited. Both of them were. Dude, are there decks going around that you can't use anymore? That might be what's going on here. I think that probably is. I think that's what's going on here. But then I'm just confused how... I don't know. If a deck is that old, then how would that still be a legend deck? Give me a second. There were 2 semi-limited cards in there. That's what I saw. But apparently that's not allowed. Give me a second, I have to look at this again before I get back to my discussion with you. Okay, well, I'm going to filter by limiteds and semi-limiteds. Limited to 3. Okay, well, there's limited to 3. So maybe you can have one if, okay, if you're limited to 1, then maybe you can have, okay, maybe that one was limited to 3. Maybe that's what it was. But then why would it have a limited anything on there? That doesn't make any sense. If you're semi-limited to 3, then you don't have a limit. 3 is the most amount of cards. This is confusing. I have this card. Oh my god. I like how quickly I just favorited that. I have this card. That's called the card has been used against you so many times. You just, yeah. Okay, well, only 2. I can't read it. Only 2 hold on. I have my card. Okay. This is definitely very confusing because I saw 2 cards in there that are semi-limited. And you aren't allowed to have more than that. You aren't allowed to have any other semi-limiteds in the deck. Even if it's a different card that's semi-limited. You aren't allowed to do that. So that deck must be pretty old. I'm not sure how it's still legend though. Maybe it was a recent nerf? I don't know. I don't remember the other card. It could have been a recent nerf, but I don't know. What I do want to know is what I was said. Like, what was that message that came up? Guys, I have to go look, so I'm sorry, but the screen is just going to stay there for a bit. Like, I mean, it says when I try to put in another semi-limited card, a different one that is, that I can't do it. But also, it doesn't stay there long enough for me to read it. And I refuse to believe that there are people that can read that fast. There aren't people like that. The most I get from it is I cannot make it. Yeah, I can't use both those cards at those. Yeah, this is just super weird. Now, I do realize that there are probably ways of cheating, and maybe as you progress through the game, maybe what you're allowed to have in your deck changes. But I also don't have any evidence of that. I can look that up though, like... Okay, hold on, hold on, the... Dueling... What is he called again? Dude, he isn't... The two semi-limited cards at 2 copies. Four semi-limited cards in one deck. Like, I really want to know what the deal with that is. I'm not sure that if I looked it up on Google that I would find anything. But I think it's a good opportunity for me to do so. So, I'm going to go on a side route here. And open Google. Now, I know Google makes the game lag, but the game isn't actually what's being... It's not what is being discussed here. And now, I'm not going to show the results on screen because I don't seem to know how to do that properly right now, so I will have to learn that skill later. I have no idea what later means. There is apparently an upgrade available for GIMP. Or GIMP, whatever. I don't know how you guys pronounce it. Okay, create from clipboard. Okay. Only 2 copies of cards on the limited 2 list can be included in your deck. That is what it says. And I understand what it means when that is said. But also, I saw a deck that did not meet that criteria. So why? That is what I want to know. It seems pretty weird to just obsess over that, right? Well, I'm sure it is weird, but I still want to know the answer. What am I looking at here? What am I looking for? Oh, I was looking for something. Okay, well, that's the wrong location. Yeah, I'm saving something on my flash drive right now, but I was confused because I thought I was looking for something that, yeah, pretty much. Okay, well, I have Google Chrome open. There's something I'd actually like to do. I would like to find a specific image. Okay, hold on. Okay. Only 2. Only 2 semi-limited per deck. That is a weird and awkward name. Anyway. I wouldn't say the person that made that deck was cheating. Because if they were cheating, I would have lost, right? I mean, if you're going to cheat, then your deck would be broken as hell. It wouldn't look like what it looks like when I was fighting it. I mean, that's just... I don't think the guy was cheating. So what was going on? Why was he able to do that? I'm going to look that up right now while everyone else just stares at you. I don't know, I might change it from character to character every now and then. I don't know. But obviously, I'm not playing Duel Links the way that I should be playing Duel Links. Yeah, I'm just leaving it here on screen. Well, I looked something up. Now this is Duel Links related. And also the image that I'm going to look up is one of Jack Atlas saying something hilarious. Okay. You know, this is just ridiculous. Seriously, very ridiculous. Well, Chrome is loading. So Chrome definitely makes the video lag. But the audio doesn't lag. I've noticed that. So the audio will be fine, and if I just let the game sit there, then that's okay, because all that's relevant right now is my voice. So, I'm going to be looking up an image. And I think I'm going to actually import it and show it on screen so people can see the image I was looking for. Because obviously the image is worth showing people. I'm going to look it up. Now this is going to be before I look up the other things. So give me a second. I'm going to Google images. Google Images. Dude, I know exactly what I'm doing. Well, that's what I say. That's what I claim. But do I really? We can debate this later. Yeah, we can debate this later. Okay, hold on. Okay, so this is an image of Jack Alice. You're wait. I don't know how to find it. But I'm hoping this... Dude, is this... Okay, hold on a second. Well, I'm seeing images of him, but that's not the right... What? Dude, there's a meme. Oh my god. And there's a... Wait a minute, actually. No, that... I thought there was a dark sign edit for Jack, but I think that was just Carly's imagination. Jack Atlas, we have a complaint here from the writers. Hold on. I'm just looking at this meme. Jack Atlas, we have a complaint here from the writers, saying you are no longer qualified to be more of an asshole than Mr. Kaiba. Oh my god. We have, oh god. Wow. That is hilarious, but that is not the image I'm looking for. And obviously the image I'm looking for is difficult to find, which is why I can't just find it normally. Since I cannot find it, well, obviously I'm still going to be looking for it. I might have to look for it again later, but I need to look for more thumbnails anyway. Okay, hold on. I was not looking anything up related to reality. Okay, well I found it. Hold on, wait, I didn't find it. Or did I find it? I have no idea what's going on. Dude, internet. Okay, stop. This is not what I'm looking for. I am looking for something specific, dear God. This has nothing to do with real life. This is actually the opposite of real life. So let me be non-real life in peace. Yeah, well, I found a picture, but it's pretty low quality, and I'd like a better image of it. Okay. Okay, well, okay. Well, I think I have a reason. I think I know why I couldn't find it. Okay, well, at least now I'm getting more images of Jack instead of just... Dude, I'm trying to find something hilarious. In a good quality image. Are you telling me the internet could not deliver on this? Are you telling me the internet could not deliver? I do not buy that. I do not buy that. When I was on the internet during 5 days run, they were definitely capable of getting this. Oh my god, I can't believe you, internet. You are terrible. Okay, well, maybe if I just Google normally, it'll give me a page that has it. No, I'm not. What is this random person over here? Okay, I have to type this up. Yeah. Give me a second while I find what I'm looking for. Although it's going to be pretty difficult. Well, I'm not sure. Yeah, well, I have no idea how I'm going to find this image. But all I found was that one low quality image. Is that really it? Is that it, internet? That's all you have? Is that one oh my god, you have failed. You have failed me. Well, I think it's good enough. Okay. It's good enough, you can rate it. So, I think I can just save it and post it. Because it's hilarious. Okay, give me a second. Well, actually, that looks better than I thought. Yeah, it does look better than I thought. But it's certainly not perfect. And now it's on Tumblr, which is where I expected to find the image. Yeah, that's where I expected to find it. Which is why I was using Google to find it, sure. Well, you know, I do believe that Google found it faster. Like, if I was searching for this on Tumblr, I would just see a bunch of Jack fan art. Or a bunch of screen caps of him in Duel. Okay, I need to put this somewhere hilarious. But I also need to put it somewhere relevant. What do I do with this image? Where do I save it? I can put it in multiple locations because I am chaotic like that. I don't know. Jack needs his own folder. Jack needs his own folder. Yes, I definitely agree with that. I agree with what I just said. He needs his own folder. Okay, well, okay, give me a second. I have been here for 5 minutes. Yeah, I'm just putting I put my favorite memes in one folder. I'm not sure if you would call this a meme because it's just a screenshot of actual dialogue. But, you know. And I also want this in a different folder. Which folder do I want this in? Well, honestly, I don't know. Where do I put this? Okay, well, I was told to put this somewhere, so I will put it there, I guess. I know where to go if I need to find this. Okay, so I have to save this somewhere else now. Because I'm chaotic and I save images in multiple locations. This isn't even the backup version of the image, by the way. I just put it in multiple locations. And it drives people nuts. Mainly me, though, because I'm the only one that really looks at this stuff. And I'm sure many of you could imagine, like, how do I find anything? Well, my brain is chaos, but I do understand something about it. That's right, I understand something about my brain. Okay, well, I'm going to... Dude, being unable to use a... Hold on. Okay. Yeah. Alright, I found it. Okay. I should probably just put all the memes in the same place, honestly. I think that would save me a lot of time. By the way, if my VTuber model isn't moving, it's not moving on my computer either. Okay, now it's back to moving. Okay, good. Now, I am finished with finding this image, but I think it's good to show you guys the image. So, it'll pop up whenever the video decides it's going to pop up, I guess. How did it switch to use it? Well, it switched to Yuzu, apparently. I have no idea when this was, so, guys, I'm going to put the image on screen, and you guys will see it whenever the video allows for that. Okay. And now I'm going to find it and put it on the screen, and it'll be there until I'm finished with Googling stuff. yeah, it'll be there until I'm finished Googling stuff. So you'll have something amusing to read when you're, for my Google search. I don't really expect it to take long. I mean, the image took longer than this search will probably take me. So give me a second to put this on screen. I'm not sure if it bothers me. Oh, okay, yeah. I'm just gonna put it right there. Yes, that is the image. Yes. That is hilarious to me. That is very, very hilarious. That is so hilarious. I had to go online and look it up so I can save it to my hard drive. Okay, well, actually my thumb drive, but regardless. Now it's time for the actual reason I opened this browser. Why can the Vagabond have 2 semi-limited cards in one deck? That doesn't make any sense. Now this is a bit specific. So I'm not really sure. What? What? Well, I'm so confused. So very confused. To whoever gave the Vagabond... What? Okay, there's apparently this deck so bad, someone wants that player to stop playing the game. And I'm going to say it. In this image, Amazoness Swordswoman isn't semi-limited. So that deck was probably created before one of those cards became semi-limited. That's probably why the deck exists. And now that doesn't explain how it came up. But if we do some basic, if I do some basic theorizing, I'm pretty sure all the cards can possibly. If you have gone into a ranked duel, then it's at that point any deck you've created is now circulating through the system, and the Vagabond has access to that deck. So it can potentially use any deck you use in a ranked duel. Now, this deck may have been used to get to a certain place in the rankings. So maybe the highest rank that specific deck got to, maybe that's the rank that was saved. This could be because maybe that was the last time the deck could be used. In which case, obviously that would be why the deck isn't being used now. And that might indicate that the player is now using a different deck. But this is just very confusing, because I'm just like, what the hell? But I do really, really think. So I just, it's very confusing, you know? Because I'm just like, how? What? But dude, newest ban list limited 3. Okay, well I'm trying to find the answer to my question. And I'm honestly very confused. I'm so confused. Error copies. What? Yeah, I am just confused as hell because of certain things. Okay. Interesting. But some messages... Yeah... You can only have two limited 2 cards in your deck. Yes. That is the thing. Why am I finding that this isn't the case? It's confusing, but I think it has something to do with something that happened recently, like maybe that I'm pretty sure it's just a ban list change that occurred, and that deck was at one point playable, because I saw an image where Swordswoman was not semi-limited. So to me that says, well, things change. So which decks can be used also change. But that doesn't necessarily mean the deck is taken out of circulation. No, that could still mean the deck can be used by the Vagabond. But that doesn't mean you, as a user, can use the same deck. Because things have changed. This is just weird. What? Your deck can... What? What? I am confused. What? What? This card will be limited. I am confused. There can be only 3. Thou shalt count no further. 5 is right out. Amen. Okay, 1, 2, 5. Okay, guys, I was reading a comment section. I had to do it. It had to be done. It had to be done, okay? It had to be done. Yeah, it had to be done. I saw that. I had to say it. There was no escaping it. Okay, honestly, give me a second. I should not be doing this while recording. I really shouldn't just leave the game up, but I mean, I'm talking. And I know that my recording is just fine. I mean, my voice records normally, no matter what. Yeah, seriously. Okay, yeah. Yeah. They're just weird. Yeah, they're weird. Oh, wow. Oh, I see. I see. Well, the game definitely sounds like it's been cancerous for a long time, just saying. Now I have to, man, Maki Record is still grinding. I mean, I know that I just did the episode level 5 grind. I did the episode level grind with 3 girls, and I've been grinding challenge 10 for the current event, and it's still going on. Yeah, it's still there. It hasn't stopped. No, I know I do have a lot of event currency, so that probably had something to do with it. And that was intentional, by the way. And if I have any extra, event currency, I can just use that to get more curse chips. Okay, well, I think I'm finished looking things up. Now I'm going to have to close the browser. And now that I've closed Google Chrome, let me just wait. Now I have to do this waiting thing because I know that the game is weird. So because I know it's weird, that's what I have to do. All right. I'm going to take the image off screen. Alright, the image has been taken off screen. And now the video is so long that I don't even know if it's worth doing any rank duels. So I'm going to save the rank duels for later. Yes, I'm going to save those for later. Instead, I'm just going to go around and do auto duels. When I'm finished with those, then I will come back and I will duel Reiji. And I will also do some rank duels. Now, give me a second. Just bear in mind that on my computer, sometimes things lag too. So if the recording is lagging for you, that's because the game is lagging for me. And the reason it's lagging for me is because I just had Chrome open. Yeah, that's not just a recording issue. It's also a functionality issue. Like, I believe that my hardware isn't good enough to have Chrome open at the same time as the links. Okay, well, I only have two standard duelists to duel against. So I can just duel those. And then duel any non-standard duelists around. And now I know Shingo is right there. I guess he'll finally get his rematch, but whatever. You know, should he get a rematch or should I just play him purposely? And like, I do not know if I want him to win. Although his deck can be pretty good. And I think that Shingo deserves better. Silvio deserves better. He definitely deserves better. I think the whole cast deserves better, honestly. I think I will even extend that to Reiji. Now, was Reiji worse? Now, was Reiji poorly written? I wouldn't exactly say that. But I do think he could have been fleshed out a bit more. And there could have been more development with his character. And now, because of Reiji, I mean, there's one problem, number one. One of the main antagonists of this series just did nothing. And I'm just sitting here like, you did what? And this is the level of threat you are? Oh my god, dude, you suck. Yeah, you suck. Like, I was roasting Leo from 5Ds. Dude, step over. He's not the one that actually sucks. Yeah. And I'm not sure if they changed that particular... I think the name of Reiji's father is Leo, but I can't remember for sure. Also, if the dub changed that, I don't know. And anyway, typing in the name Leo, that could be associated with anything. Yeah, I don't know. But obviously, when you type in Leo, the main person you're taken to is... You're taken to Leo from 5Ds. You aren't taken to a page involving Reiji's father. Which might indicate, am I misremembering his name? Am I misremembering his name? But I don't actually think I am, because, I just don't really think I am, because I think I'm pretty sure that Well, yeah. Anyway. Okay, Silvio, I'm sure I can destroy you, even with auto duel. Man, my phone must be tired. It should get a very healthy break when it is done here. But I still have to turn in the currency that I've earned from these battles. So I have to do that as well, but yeah. My phone has been hard at work for a long time. Okay, Reggie. I mean, Silvio, you're vindicated. Dude, I basically, when I am offended by Reggie, it's mainly just a joke. It's something I'm doing because I think I mean, it's for entertainment purposes. It's not because I'm actually holding a grudge against Reggie or anything like that. But when I just said Reggie right there, that kind of makes it sound like I've got an actual grudge against him, doesn't it? Well, I don't, but sometimes if I say things often enough, I'll end up saying them when it's not intended to be said there. So, you know, that's actually why I'm trying to make an effort to not curse as much. Because I don't want a curse word to slip out of my mouth impulsively. Like, if I curse intentionally, that's okay, but I also know there's a time and a place for that kind of language. And I don't necessarily want to, I just don't want that time and place to, be, I don't want to curse when it's inappropriate. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay. I don't have any water monsters, but I'm glad to know that you thought that taking control of my monsters was a good idea. I thought that was the wind charmer, but apparently it was the light one, because Blue Eyes went to my opponent's side of the field first with second. And I know the Blue Eyes White Dragon is a light monster. And I have a lot of dark attribute and light attribute monsters in this game. Well, it's basically the same in Magia Record. I have a lot of light magical girls and a lot of dark ones. Now the light ones are because I wanted them. And the dark ones, same thing, I probably also willed for them. I did some willing for this year's anniversary event as well, but actually I fully slotted that character also partially, just by playing the game normally. Which I enjoyed, which I really liked. It was awesome. Like, I could have been given anything else, but I actually fully slotted that magical girl. So I slotted the anniversary girl, and that was good. Now, I think that my innocent gem that I used was supposed to be on, I think I was going to use it on Sudachi, and I forgot. Or maybe this was a different innocent gem that I just didn't realize was still in my inventory. I'm not sure. Anyway, I'm pretty sure that I've used an innocent gem on someone I did not intend to use it on. And an innocent gem basically gives your magical girl an extra slot in Magia Record. Yeah, there's a slotting system in Magia Record, so you need multiple copies of each magical girl. And if you think this is irrelevant to Yu-Gi-Oh!, well, think about the game that's coming out soon. Now let's see, what is it called again? Cross duel or something like that. There's a mention made that you will need multiple copies of the same monster for some reason or another. So you need multiple copies of a card. Well, get used to that, because Magia Record does that same thing. Only Yu-Gi-Oh! Is probably going to make it worse, much worse. I mean, I think it's bad in Magia Record, but dear God. Konami really has what it... Konami can really do a lot of damage with that kind of system, just saying. Okay, you know, I'm not sure why they made a second gacha game. Because they already have Duel Links. Why would they need another one? Well, apparently they just have the funding for it. I mean, they must think that because Duel Links is successful, another gacha game would also be successful, but... What about people wanting to play both, man? What about people wanting to play both? Like, I'd like to play both. I know it would be weird, but I'd like to play both. Because clearly I don't have enough gacha games already. Fire Emblem Heroes, Duel Links, Magia Record. Gems of War is sort of a gacha game. But you know, there are other gacha games I could be playing as well. Okay, I'm supposed to be ending the video now. My bad. Okay, guys. I'm going to wrap up the video. And when I come back, I will duel Reiji. And after I'm finished dueling Reiji, I will do some ranked duels. So, I'll see you guys in my next video. Look forward to it.